I was shooting a story for National Geographic about the fastest ocean currents in the world in the Salish Sea on the BC coast. I was out there with my camera telling the story, and then out of the rain and the mist, this boat approached me. And that was the day I met Rob and Erin. Here are the true conservation heroes. Here are the scientists who are not in the spotlight. They're underfunded. It's a thankless job, but they're out there collecting the data because they care. If we don't have science and we don't have data, we don't have a conversation starter. We don't have a foundation of knowledge. So these are the true heroes out there on the front lines connecting this data that really start the whole process of affecting change.
The ocean is vast, and it's teeming with life. But beneath the surface, marine ecosystems face unprecedented threats. At Oceans Initiative, we believe that research and scientific practice comprise the foundation of conservation.
Growing up in the Pacific Northwest, my interest in the ocean and marine life was sparked at a very young age. I was visiting my aunt on San Juan Island, and she woke me up in the wee hours. It was too dark to see much, but I could hear these beautiful blows as killer whales swam below us. It was just a magical moment. I was driven by curiosity. I spent hours watching them from shore. It inspired me to learn more, and I knew that I wanted to dedicate my life to understanding and protecting marine life.
As a kid, I was fascinated by the ocean. Growing up on Vancouver Island, sailing with my dad. First time we saw killer whales, I was told I should be afraid of them. But I just kept wondering, what is their world like? I got to listen to the National Geographic recording of the song of the humpback whale, and I realized that there were dinosaur-sized creatures around Vancouver Island singing. And that's when I fell in love with whales. That stuck in the back of my mind. Years later, I realized I wanted to be a scientist and I wanted to be on the water. I knew that marine conservation was going to be my life's mission.
I was always interested in science. I appreciated the objectivity and that the data can tell the story. I really appreciated that science is this universal language where we can all work together to protect what's important.
In 2002, I met a woman at a conference on the imminent extinction of southern resident killer whales. I met my now wife, Erin Ashe.
Rob was there giving a talk, and a colleague introduced the two of us.
She shared the same passion that I have for marine conservation. We were both in love with the ocean and with science. We were both committed to protecting southern resident killer whales, protecting dolphins, salmon.
When Rob and I first started to work together, it seemed to be natural. We seemed to collaborate well. We quickly began generating a lot of ideas about research projects, what we wanted to do.
We found the most common cause of marine habitat degradation is that humans are not very good at knowing when we have enough. And it is hard for us to accept that the ocean, as resilient and vast as it is, has limits.
Some of the biggest threats facing marine ecosystems include climate change and bycatch in fisheries, also noise in the ocean. Marine mammals, but also fish, rely on hearing to carry out various life functions. And our ocean is becoming increasingly noisy. That all contributes to a loss of biodiversity.
All of our decision-making in Canada, in the US, around the world, they all use this criterion that says we must use the best available science when we're making decisions about environmental risk, about resource management, about industrial development, about marine conservation. And what we found is that in many cases, the best available science wasn't good enough, or there was no science available.
We saw a gap between conservation and the decision makers, policymakers and funding groups. There needed to be more scientific guidance to make confident, evidence-based decisions. And we knew we could conduct strategic science and use our findings. We were determined to make a difference.
After Erin and I worked together for about a decade, we decided to form Oceans Initiative together.
Our work has touched all 7 continents, more than a dozen countries. We collaborate regularly with scientists around the world. We look for places where science is actionable. We may see that countries or provinces or states are motivated to protect the species. Perhaps they're missing a piece of science that could help advance that conservation action. We can step in and produce that piece of science that's missing that can help advance this policy forward.
Doing strategic, focused, short, sharp science on issues that are really societally important. Quickly and inexpensively recording the data that proves how human activity is affecting marine mammals.
By studying bycatch rates and recommending sustainable practices, we help policymakers and communities find a balance between generating livelihoods and supporting conservation objectives, and a future where fishing can remain viable.
And so we do mathematical models to help us understand how much recovery it's going to take to prevent the extinction of southern resident killer whales or other marine mammals. But we also get our feet wet going out to rivers and dams to try to develop minimally invasive ways so that more salmon can come back to feed southern resident killer whales. And it's that balance of science and real-world application.
One of our biggest wins has been shaping policy with our body of research on underwater noise pollution. This has had a real influence on shipping regulations.
We have built up a body of evidence that noise from small boats and big ships alike disrupt a killer whale's ability to find salmon. Our science is showing that when ships slow down by a few knots and make half as much noise, the killer whales spend more time feeding. And so it's been really wonderful to see the ports of Vancouver, Seattle, and Tacoma come together and encourage ship fleets to voluntarily slow down. In the world today, with ever-changing economic and political drivers, collaborative conservation has never been more challenging.
We live in an era where sensationalized headlines can distort public perception. There is misinformation about ocean science, but the disciplined approach of marine scientists who gather data through observation, experimentation, and analysis ensures that the truth about our ocean's health is accurately documented and conveyed. And one of the great things we have in science is peer reviews. You submit your findings and your peers review it and make sure that you're drawing sound conclusions.
We integrate and synthesize the best available science to understand the relative importance of all of these threats, to be able to put a number to the size of that problem so that it can be a common frame of reference, because then we get to have a discussion with everyone about what do we do with this information. This clarity is essential for making informed decisions.
We believe in empowering the next generation. That's why we mentor early career scientists, especially women in marine biology. I defended my PhD thesis when I was about 7 months pregnant. I was quite excited. And soon after, someone said to me, "Your field career is over. You're becoming a mom and you'll have other responsibilities." At the time, it was unsettling, but I thought, no, it is not, because I had a mentor who had shown me a different path. She took her kids into the field with her, working with children in field settings. Just seemed like a natural thing to do, to bring Clara into the field with us, and she finds the boat to be a home. She falls asleep best on the boat now because she spent so many years there. And now Clara has her own interest in the ocean.
Many of us who didn't have a mentor have been lost to science, talented, brilliant people, and they're doing wonderful things with their lives, but they're not doing science.
Because science-driven conservation is only as strong as the people behind it. We believe it's important to help break down any barriers that may exist and to pass on knowledge to the next generation.
There is an unconscionable delay between the accumulation of knowledge and our willingness to act on it. Our task is to shrink that lag between getting the science and acting on it. And I think it's that next generation that will help us speed up the lag time between science and action. Core of our mission is to be able to react to the crisis that we see in front of us, but don't lose sight of the next crisis that's coming down the pipe, whether it's deep sea mining, climate, or contaminants, or infectious diseases. One area of growing concern for me is whale strikes from ships and prolonged, painful deaths of whales in entanglement in poorly monitored fisheries. It's an area we see great hope for improvement, and we're actively seeking partners who wish to tackle this threat together. So far, it's been an amazing career, a wonderful journey, but it has not been without challenges. We've seen a great many environmental losses. Ecosystems and species have failed. But with failure, we gain more knowledge that we can now implement and share, passing on this information to others, guiding the next generation forward.
Providing hope for future generations certainly motivates me and the work that we do at Oceans Initiative. There's a sense of obligation to leave the planet in better shape than we found it. And there are a lot of smart, engaged people out there who are excited about protecting the ocean. So there is a lot of hope, but there's still more work to be done. With more awareness, support, and collaboration, we want to scale up our efforts, broaden our perspective.
The environmental problems that we're facing are going to require the collective brilliance of all of us. There isn't one idea, one scientist that we can afford to lose, because there isn't a moment to waste.
Now, we're furthering our mission, expanding our impact. By combining technology, field research, and policy advocacy, we're working to protect even more marine species and habitats. The science is clear. It is agnostic, it is inert, in and of itself, and that is powerful. It cuts through competing narratives, illuminates the truth, and is usually the precursor to resolution. Science empowers humanity to make the right decisions, to find our direction, and to make a difference.
The orcas here in the Salish Sea and in the Pacific Northwest face so many dangers. When Rob and Erin told me that this is the first time in the history of humanity where we are going to see a species, a population become extinct, and we're going to know each individual by name as they die off, it really hit me hard. Without science, conservation cannot happen. Rob and Erin, they're producing world-class science for the world to follow. And there are very few scientists that are actually looking at the problem from a holistic standpoint. They are teachers, they are mentors, they pick up everybody around them. They're just amazing. And I just want to say, if you feel compelled to do something, please donate to their work. Investing in science and supporting scientists is one of the most important things we can do.